Hi, my name's Phil. I like to talk about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss the new persona that Jonathan Gullis, Boris Johnson's former pet chimp, has made for himself since losing his seat last year in the election. He's spent so long complaining that he can't get a job. Something I've said in the past, like you'd think he'd be embarrassed about that. But he's basically memed himself. Now local journalists at Stoke-on-Trent Live seem to have been keeping tabs, and they reported at the end of last month that it had been 177 days and he still can't find a job. Well, it's bearing down on 200 days now. So I asked the nice folk in the community tab what sort of job he might be able to do, because he's obviously struggling, poor lamb. But first, for daily political commentary, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out. So, first of all, I'm going to say a couple of things. As Gullis is a teacher by qualification, which, yes, is a source of deep shame to my own formal profession, it's no easy task to walk straight into a job as a teacher. Like, there are certain times of the year when there are more vacancies than others. Easter is the main advertising season. Summer through winter, not so much. But second, the Tories, don't they castigate people who struggle to find work? Like, aren't they all feckless and lazy if they claim to be unable to find suitable work? Which one is Gullis admitting to being? Of course, he doesn't blame himself. He blames woke teachers for not hiring him. Mind you, that raises a question. If teachers weren't too woke to hire him before he entered Parliament, because he was working as a teacher then, and I assume someone hired him, but they're too woke to hire him now, what is it about the Conservatives in government over the last 5 years that made educators so woke? And wasn't that sort of his fault? In reality, of course, it is entirely possible that schools are being put off by the prospect of hiring a teacher who spent 5 years parading his ignorance and stupidity at a national level. So, you know, he may have a point, but complaining won't get him the job, will it? Unless it's a job like mine. Complaining works for that. He's welcome to try his hand at complaining on YouTube. In fact, isn't another thing about the Tories that they think they should just innovate their way out of tricky spots? You know, if he can't get a job as a teacher, well, why doesn't he start up a new business? That's what Rishi Sunak suggested the unemployed do last year, wasn't it? Oh, you just got to try these things. You've got to be willing to fail. Easy to say when you got a few £100 million in the bank, mate, isn't it? Almost like Tories don't even believe the Tory bullshit. So, he's struggling to find a job that he's qualified for, and we can't leave him on the unemployment figures. Which reminds me, free one for Labour MPs out there. So if any Tories try to talk about Labour increasing unemployment, just fire back that it's because they put so many Conservative MPs out of work. But anyway, let's help little Johnny out. I asked what sort of job might be suitable for him. Now, when I pointed out the reporting of this little spot of bother he's having, some people did straight away suggest he retrains in cyber. There's a little in joke about, again, a Conservative suggestion for people who are struggling. Or factory work, that came up. He seems to like McDonald's, so I thought that might be a good one. Although maybe he's worried by what Badenoch said, and he thinks it might turn him working class. But let's take a look at, you know, some of your suggestions here. So there were a lot of them. First of all, I did put up the suggestions from Twitter along the lines of cyber, factory work, and then I also thought working at McDonald's. He seems to like it. And looking at the results, I have to confess to being surprised at just how many of you seem happy for him to prepare your food. Although, as I'm talking about McDonald's, I use the word food in its most charitable sense, you understand. Although maybe all of those people who voted for that just never intend to go to Stoke, so they think they're safe enough. But of the more personal suggestions, I mean, let's go through some of the more popular ones. So he could pick fruit or veg or catch happy fish. He could be made to experience life on benefits and the charming treatment you get at the job centre. Care work on minimum wage without travelling expenses was another. Someone suggested he work at an Amazon warehouse so he could experience the employee rights he seemed happy that everyone else should have when he was an MP. It was a bit harsh, but probably fair. Someone expressed surprise that he hadn't been able to more easily find work in one of the many wonderful businesses he brought to the region, according to his own boasting. Someone who does work in cyber did cast doubt on his ability to do the same, so we may have to cross that one off the list. Janitorial role in a drag club was one suggestion. Actually, there were a few suggestions designed to put him in environments where he might get to meet a broader range of people and maybe lose some of his bigotry. Call centre, refugee support worker and so on. Then we had the opposite. Some people felt he should just get a job which absolutely didn't let him anywhere near other people at all. We had like nighttime cleaner in an office block, lighthouse keeper, pigeon scarer in Trafalgar Square. Now, I didn't know that was a thing, but having been to London a few times recently also wouldn't surprise me. Someone else asked why he can't just set himself up as a personal tutor. Do even the posh parents not want him teaching their kids? This is a very good point. Very well made. I mean, so many options really, though, aren't there? I'm not sure what the fireplace warning goblin was about. That was one suggestion. Sounds good, though. Someone said he should just take anything and that employers are not impressed by long gaps in employment history, which is true enough, but I do think you may be labouring under the impression that he has offers he's turning down. I think his problem is he's not got the offers. Labour front bench was one suggestion. It was a bit mean. Talk TV was another. Now, I am quite certain he would love that. In fact, I reckon it eats him up inside that the working class former miner, Lee Anderson, snagged a six-figure sum to talk shit on GB News, and this privately educated fine specimen of a true blue Tory can't even get a bog-standard salary working as a teacher. As someone said, when you're so awful that even Reform won't employ you. So I think a lot of people agree that there are certainly lots of jobs out there that Gullis could do. And of course we know the Tories don't believe you should be picky about your job when you're unemployed. In fact, just as Labour seem happy to bring Liz Truss up whenever the Tories want to talk about the economy, they should blame unemployment on Jonathan Gullis' refusal to get a job as well. Maybe he should at least just join a local jobs club to build up his skills. He obviously needs to retrain for a profession that isn't filled with quite so much woke, as that seems to be his problem. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.